For my digital artifact, I will be talking about the production and circulation of cerebrospinal fluid. From now on, I'm going to refer it to as CSF. So CSF is produced by the choroid plexus. The choroid plexus is found in all four ventricles: the lateral ventricles, the third ventricle, and the fourth ventricle. It's composed of ependymal cells, which we learned in Unit 1. They are glial cells that produce cerebrospinal fluid, and capillaries, which are small vessels that have thin walls to easier get material across them. The cerebrospinal fluid is composed of water molecules, which includes dissolved oxygen and dissolved CO2, and electrolytes. It has a lot of important functions, three main ones. It provides cushion to the brain and spinal cord, the central nervous system, and it delivers nutrients and it removes waste. So before I get into this whole spiel, I drew this. We didn't get this in our lesson. I thought it would be a little helpful. It was helpful for me to kind of visualize from anterior view of the cerebrum. So you have two lateral ventricles, and you have the third ventricle, and then the interventricular foramen. Now there's two of them, so it would be foramina, but I'm just pointing to one. So talking about the pathway, the circulation. So for the sake of this demonstration, we're going to begin in the ventricular system, ventricles. And although the choroid plexus is found in all of the ventricles, only a small amount is created, just kind of like your blood. So let's start in the ventricular system. So in the lateral ventricles, they are found in the cerebrum, and the CFS flows through the interventricular foramina into the third ventricle, which is located between the thalamus region. So looking at this from the front, anterior, that would be right around here. From the third ventricle, CSF flows through the cerebral aqueduct into the fourth ventricle, which is here's the third, flows through the cerebral aqueduct into the fourth ventricle, and this is found in the midbrain between the cerebellum and the pons right here. And so from here, CSF can take a couple different paths. It can continue down the central canal right here, down the spinal cord, or it can leave the ventricular system and enter the subarachnoid space. So the subarachnoid space goes all around here. It's part of the circulatory system. And so it can enter this space a couple different ways. So right here, this little structure right here is the lateral apertures. So it's not obvious, but there's two of those. And then right here, this little opening right here is the median aperture. There's only one of these. But through the median aperture flows down or around the cerebellum and up back through the circulatory system and through the lateral aperture, same thing. And you can just see how the CSF flows around the brain. And looking at this, you can kind of tell how it performs its functions by observing the way it cushions the brain. There's the brain right here, the cerebrum, cushions it. And right here are the arachnoid villi. So there's more of these, but the arachnoid villi are important because they recycle the CSF, and by reabsorbing it into the blood-filled dural sinus. So here's the sinus. blood goes through here, CSF is here, and that is how it delivers nutrients and removes the waste, the metabolic waste. And that completes the circulation and recycle of cerebrospinal fluid.